Good morning, everyone. I want to remind all that commissioners must identify themselves when the roll is taken and prior to participating in deliberations, including making motions, proposing amendments, and raising points of order, as well as during votes, all of which will be taken by roll call. Also, in accordance with North Carolina General Statutes, Section 132-1, all chats, instant messages, texts, or other written communications between members of the commission regarding the transaction of commission business during the meeting are deemed a public record. Thank you, Mr. Chair. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. I would like to add by reminding commission members that we operate under the State Government Ethics Act and the Commission's adopted Code of Ethics, in addition to complying with all civil laws, administrative requirements, and criminal statutes governing conduct of state government appointees. Commission members should notify me of any changes in your state of economic interest that could bring about potential conflicts of interest. It is the duty of each commissioner to monitor, evaluate, and manage your personal, financial, and professional affairs to ensure the absence of any conflict of interest. At this time, I will ask all the commissioners if anyone has a known conflict of interest with respect to any matter coming before the commission at this meeting. All right, hearing none, I will note that for the record that none of the commissioners in attendance at this meeting have any conflicts of interest with any of the matters on the agenda for today. I will now ask Francis to do a roll call of the commissioners.
Commissioner Whitaker,
Present.
Commissioner Malcolm,
Present.
Commissioner Griffin, Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Hayes,
Present.
Commissioner Long, Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Rand.
Present.
We've been advised that Commissioner Roth is unable to attend. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Francis. Next up on the agenda is the approval of minutes. We have minutes from the November 29th of 2023 commission meeting and December 13th, 2023 commission meeting. Do I have a motion to approve those minutes?
I'll make that motion.
Do I have a second?
This is Commissioner Boyce. I'll make that second.
Any discussion? All right, I would move to amend the November 29th minutes to reflect the proper spelling of Commissioner Malcolm's last name on page 1 of those minutes, that it be spelled M-A-L-C-O-L-M. If there's no objection from Commissioner Malcolm as to that, I'll make that motion to amend. Billy, do we need a second for that motion? All right.
That Josh Malcolm.
All right, we have a second. Any discussion? All right, we'll have a roll call vote on the motion to amend the minutes.
Commissioner Whitaker, Commissioner Malcolm, Commissioner Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes,
Yes.
Commissioner Long,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Rand.
Yes.
The vote is unanimous.
All right. Any further discussion before we move the adoption of the minutes altogether? All right, let's have a roll call vote on all the minutes together.
Commissioner Whitaker,
Yes.
Commissioner Malcolm, Commissioner Malcolm, thank you. Commissioner Griffin,
Yes.
Commissioner Hayes, Commissioner Long,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Rand. The vote was unanimous.
All right. Thank you all very much. Next up on the agenda is the action item for the sports wagering authorization, and I will call on Sterl Carpenter to make a presentation on that. Sterl, you may be muted.
No, I was just setting up the PowerPoint. My apologies. And good morning, Chair Rand, Commissioners, Director Mihalko. Today, we are presenting the sports wagering authorization. So the agenda is the proposed sports wagering authorization, the registration enrollment period, the go-live date where licensed approved operators may offer wagering. So last year, the General Assembly passed a law that directed the Commission to license and regulate sports wagering in North Carolina. Among other things, the law stated that sports wagering would not be authorized in the state until a date identified by the Commission. The proposed sports wagering authorization before the Commission today for consideration and approval offers the first date for authorized sports wagering in North Carolina, outlines the regulated conduct operators may engage in leading up to that date. Specifically, upon licensure, obtaining their certificate of compliance, and finally on the authorization or go live date. In short, the proposed authorization gives the public useful information about when sports wagering begins, and it further cements the to-do list for operator applicants that are working to offer bets in our state. So the registration period. Commission staff proposes two important uniform start dates for this authorization. The first important date to note is March 1st, 2024. On this day, the licensed operators that have received a certificate of compliance from the Commission staff may begin enrolling new players in North Carolina on its platform. New players can also begin to make deposits into their accounts on that day so they are ready for the first day of wagering. The registration and enrollment period before the beginning of the authorized betting gives players time to familiarize themselves with the approved applications for sports betting platforms. For example, they can look at who offers the best interface, they can look at the most favorable terms, and ease of use for their responsible gaming features. It also gives operator applicants incentives to move quickly to meet Commission expectations and build awareness about their offerings. The first day in sports wagering. So Monday, March 11th at noon Eastern Standard Time, licensed operators that have obtained the certificate of compliance may offer and accept sports wagers. Sports wagers before this time are not lawful. Licensed and eligible operators and their platforms will be identified on our ncgaming.gov website. The list of approved operators will be on that page. In-person betting will follow on a case-by-case basis as interested operators meet this requirement. Please note that the proposed authorization does not include any ADW or parimutuel wagering at this time. More information about this topic will follow at a later date. So the eligibility considerations in this document. So to participate in regulated activities on March 1st or March 11th, operator applicants have much work to do. First, they must obtain a license from us. The Commission has received voluminous application materials from 9 entities that want to become operators in the state. Review those license applications, and the applications for service providers and suppliers are well underway at this time. Each operator must be in compliance with Commission requirements as explained in this authorization before they can engage in the regulated conduct. By making this operational showing, the licensed operator can obtain a certificate of compliance from the Commission. This may occur at different times for each operator. Importantly, licensed application review and certificate of compliance work can and will be happening at the same time. Currently, review and background investigations are underway for multiple operator applicants. While commission staff are conducting these application review and investigations, operators should move forward with items identified in this authorization. We now know that currently several of these operators are gathering their internal controls, which will be due this Friday. These will be required to obtain a certificate of compliance. And ultimately, without a certificate of compliance, an operator will not be able to register a player account or to accept wagers on that first date. Some of the elements that are in this checklist for compliance are to be approved their internal controls and to where their submitted wagering rules are also known as house rules in the industry. They will also be submitting their terms and conditions, their privacy policies. They will make sure that their geolocation is tested and operating in the parameters that is expected. They also will have to show an ability to provide daily financial reporting and to make sure that their voluntary exclusion program and their responsible gaming features are all in place before this time. So please let me know if there are any questions about this authorization and the requirement for this certificate of compliance. In addition to the certificate of compliance requirement and these key dates, the authorization touches on a few other topics, including advertising and player recruitment, which operator applicants are encouraged to review in detail. I also would like to state that at the beginning of this project, the commission directed staff to implement sports betting as soon as practicable and to do it in a complete, professional, transparent manner and with the highest standards of integrity. We've done our best to meet this directive. In a few short months, we've built our infrastructure, we've put together a regulatory framework from scratch, and we assembled a team. To be sure, there is still much to do, and we will always be working to improve our processes as they mature. But with this proposed authorization, we are telling the public that we are ready for sports wagering. Now it is up to our operator applicants to show us that they can meet the requirements set by our General Assembly and by this commission. I will take any questions that the commission may have at this time.
Thank you, Sterl. Before we get to that, do I have a motion to adopt the sports wagering authorization provided with the commission meeting documents and presented by Sterl Carpenter here at the meeting?
Boyce, I'll make that motion.
We have a second.
Commissioner Long, second.
All right, we got a motion and a second to adopt the authorization. Is there any discussion or any questions for Sterl about any of that? All right, hearing no questions or comments, let's have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Whitaker,
Yes.
Commissioner Malcolm,
Yes.
Commissioner Griffin, Commissioner Hayes,
Yes.
Commissioner Long,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce, Commissioner Rand.
Yes.
The vote was unanimous.
Okay, thank y'all very much. Sterl, anything further on behalf of you with respect to the authorization?
With the authorization, but as always, I always want to thank the staff here that has been outstanding, to say the least. I couldn't have done this without the team that was put together, and everyone is working so very hard to make this available to the public at the time given. I really appreciate the opportunity that this commission has given me. Thank you.
Thank you, Sterl. The next matter on the agenda is other business. Is there any other business for this meeting? All right, before we take a motion to adjourn, or before I entertain a motion to adjourn, I did want to comment, follow on what Sterl said. The short period of time of this meeting today is in no way reflective of the amount of effort that the staff of the commission and the commissioners themselves have put into the sports betting program to have an authorization date of March 11th. Everybody who has been on these meetings knows we have met frequently over the last several months to try to bring this to the point where we would be ready to go live far in advance of the June date. And I just want to thank all of the staff and the commissioners and everybody who's been involved in this effort. To have the number of meetings that we've had and the concentrated effort to get this up and running is obviously very different from the way that the commission typically operates. And I know everybody has made sacrifices and gone out of their way to put in extra time on this and have multiple hats and things like that. So I do want to thank everybody for the extraordinary effort that has built up to today's authorization. So thank you everybody very much. With that, if there's no other business, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
This is
Nobody?
Commissioner Whitaker. I'll make the motion.
Any second?
This is Commissioner Boyce. I'll second that motion.
All right. Any discussion? Let's have a roll call vote.
Yes.
Commissioner Malcolm,
Yes.
Commissioner Griffin, Commissioner Hayes,
Yes.
Commissioner Long,
Yes.
Commissioner Boyce,
Yes.
Commissioner Rand.
Yes.
The vote was unanimous.
Thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time.